All right, here's the cliff notes. The company that I work for is hired by what many people consider to be some of the strongest organizations in the UAV, the UAS world. We are a company that works with about 7 to 10 companies within that industry at any given period of time. Most of these companies have caught some pretty serious recognition because of one primary factor, and that is that they refuse to hire mediocre talent. So these are companies that have set a bar extremely high in terms of the quality of people that they bring on board. And our company, thank God, is paid a premium by these companies to do their cherry picking for them. Make sense? The candidates that we work with, they range all the way from the guys that are writing the algorithms, all the way to the biz dev people. We have a division that does nothing but financial people within the UAV world as well, but our entire world is nothing but UAV, UAS kind of work. I am the individual in our company, in addition to owning the company, but I am the person whose wheelhouse happens to be on the biz dev side. And you're not call number 25 on a long call list. The person that I talked to today thought that you had a little bit more horsepower than what is tapping into. And but you being at work until 8 o'clock, it may be the opposite. I don't know, but I respected his opinion, and I thought I would just quietly give you a call and see if you might have an interest in keeping your ears open to a situation that that you might find attractive.
Yeah, I'm always interested to be aware of other opportunities in addition to the one I'm working. I've been for 9 months. And I do come out of the unmanned systems world.
No, I know you came out of, and you work within defense and security there.
Well, I came out of, that was really a short hop there. I spent the previous almost decade at, and worked on unmanned ground systems. I built a very strong reputation there throughout the industry for not only leading the engineering of unmanned ground systems, but also the product development of unmanned ground systems, and finally the overall business development for the company. I don't know if you are up to date on their prowess in the industry with the manufacture of unmanned tactical ground vehicles, surpassing the numbers from others. But so that they remained the premier company, and I spent about a decade there after I came out of a career in the Army. So, yep. So yeah, I'm interested in learning more, even though I'm happy. I'm interested in learning more.
Yeah, my hesitation to call you was that you've only been there for about 9 months, but one of the things that came out of my discussion was that, well, how do I put this gently? As kind of a system where oftentimes people have movement based on people leaving as opposed to the merit of what they're doing. It's not an easy place, from what I understand, to climb. Would that be a fair statement?
Yeah, so I would say that I don't see a lot of vertical movement during my months here. Certainly, one probably has to see someone above disappear or retire or something like that to really enable the next kind of stair step. Yep.
Okay. But here's my question. I appreciate the fact that you keep your ears open, but I will tell you, Charlie, that there are a lot of folks that we talk to who won't keep their ears open. You know, it might take a bulldozer to pull them away from what they're doing, and especially, you know, with as little time as you've put in with the company. I guess my curiosity is why the interest. And I know I've only known you now for about a minute and a half, and that's a pretty sensitive question to ask, but I want to ask it anyway. Why the interest?
Yeah, so I'm happy here. I'm being challenged, but at the same time, maybe as many of us often wonder, how much more could I be doing for a different organization? So I'm not pursuing additional opportunities outside of, but I'm open to hearing about them to consider them. There is another company currently who's trying to woo me away from Draper in the unmanned space, and I'm talking to them on the side to see what that might offer. But as I have told them, and I'm repeating with you, I am happy. I have been here less than a year, so it would seem early to depart. But at the same time, I'm always curious to see what else life might bring me.
Okay, all right, fair answer. What do you think is the variance between what you're doing right now and ultimately what you think the best usage of your skills might be?
Yeah, I don't have a leadership role here, and I'm currently, and I'm trained in leadership with close to 30 years in the Army, and then in industry since. The way we do business development is a little different from the way I've done it in the past, and I've seen other companies do it. Is a business development person like I am. I'm a senior business development person. Is also a program manager. So while you have the role and mission to bring in additional new business, you're also managing current business. So I manage about 5 different programs right now, and I have engineers and others who report to me for those programs with their matrix. So I don't have any direct reports who I am working to directly mentor and teach and bring together as we all try to accomplish the mission. I have people that come and go with projects, so it's a little harder to be able to form a team and grow the team and its capabilities to perform to even higher standards. We're taking a look at that, and whether or not our business development people should also be program managers. Certainly when you're a program manager, you're in-house much more often than out-of-house. And a lot of business development is getting out to the customers and listening and helping them, shape opportunities to bring back to the company.
Yeah, in a lot of companies, there is kind of a liaison between the program manager and the homeroom teacher who distributes, what the needs assessment is from the customer back into, program management. If you have to do both of those things, I would imagine that one side or the other typically has the ability to be diluted a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit like you're a hunter, but you're also the cook.
Yeah.
And it's hard to be out of the kitchen.
I get it.
It's hard to be preparing the meals if you're.
I get it.
In the field.
Are you working cross functionalities, or are all of these programs all in the same vein? What's the area in your wheelhouse?
Well, currently, since I'm everything has to do with guidance, navigation, and control. We're one of the leading companies in the world for that. And so the business area that I work in is for ground combat solutions. So military applications, dealing with everything from the elevation of artillery projectiles down to the ground, including Army helicopters and ground combat vehicles and dismounted soldiers. So we work a whole host of guidance, navigation, control programs for those type of customers in the division I'm in. Now the rest of the space and
And within ground combat, are you focusing on nav or perception or controls, or is it all lumped together?
It's all lumped together. So not so much the controls, but the guidance and navigation. We spend a lot of time in this division working those from. I have programs that do dismounted soldier nav. I have a modeling simulation program for the Army. We're launching a program on artillery projectiles that's in addition to other work we're already doing on artillery projectiles and mortar projectiles. So it's all manned type stuff. In our division, also does autonomy work for unmanned systems.
Right.
But most of what's happening right now in this division is all based on either people themselves on the ground or the vehicles that they're members of the crew in, or other types of nav systems for those for platforms.
You think that you took this job because of previous history in those particular areas, or do you think it was just a choice because of your general ability to sell, to spread the message, and to close on development?
I took this job because of reputation and my interest in, though I hadn't worked navigation solutions before, having been an infantry officer who served both in the U.S. and in combat, the idea of helping our forces with advanced navigation systems was and is of interest. So it's maybe not my final calling in my profession, but it is the current calling.
What is the final calling? Where's the finish line? If you could wave a magic wand and accelerate realistically, I mean,
I would definitely like to be closer to the top of the company. I'll never get to the top of this company. It's just a very steep ladder to the top. I mean, the top itself was brought in from Google, and so the other VPs below him have been in the company for 30, 40 years.
No, I know. We've worked with people before, and
it's a very steep ladder. I would like to eventually end up having a more significant role in
I got the mute button on. Now the career company wounds are coming out.
Probably in the business development, sales type area, but I've led engineering departments before and could be happy in that as well. But it's probably more in the sales